And you all remember Vaggie?
Rip Vaggie! Mouth out!
You just...
No man in his right mind will be alone together with you.
Something I've said on a variety of occasions is that I am unable to classify Adam from Hazbin Hotel as someone who is good or someone who is evil. Not in good faith, anyway, considering he has, or had, I suppose, the capacity to be monumentally complex. Although, if we were to make a comparison between Adam and Lute, his bloodthirsty lieutenant has the potential to completely blow him through the dimensional barrier that separates us from Earth 2. Reason being is because, at least when it comes to Adam, we know a few details about his backstory, and as a result, we can easily speculate the how and why he became the guy we see in episode 1. Even if the information we get is a bit open-ended and very vague.
Adam demanded control, and Lilith refused to submit to his will.
Right. No way that could be misconstrued, misinterpreted, or even used for the purposes of manipulation and/or grooming. No, sir. Absolutely not. The setting of the series and its overarching plot don't necessarily do us any favors either. Despite being a show that has a lot of layers to it, we typically get a one-sided perspective a lot of the time. I imagine this will be explored thoroughly in future seasons. In the meantime, what is it that we know about Lute? Nothing. Nathan. Nada. Squat. Big bupkis. We don't even get a crumb of information. The only thing we know for certain is that Lute is an absolute true believer in Adam and his cause of extermination. And since we don't know her backstory or even what her motives are, this makes her dedication her most interesting trait. So why don't we dissect Lute a little bit so we can maybe figure out her how and why? But before that happens, please comment down below what you think her backstory and motives may be. Tell me why you think she is the way she is. You lovely Shire-folk tend to have pretty good takes, and I'm always interested in what you have to say. And if the direction in which we're heading has piqued your interest, do consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel. Done? Great. Right. First and foremost, let's compare Lute to her commander, considering neither of them are ever seen out of their combat gear. Now, she may not be on the same level of Adam, where he will actively eat and drink with his mask on.
That's what we call overkill.
But would it not seem a bit weird to always be dressed for war? Even more so if your annual activities are meant to be a secretive Black Ops type of mission. However, for the sake of objectivity, Lute is an exorcist, and by some extension, she does have a connection to Heaven's military.
They're exorcists, the flaming swords of the heavens, here to strike them down with fiery vengeance. Oh, yeah.
So maybe this isn't too uncommon. Although, if I was to make a reference to my video dissecting Adam, perhaps Lute always wears her combat gear for the same reason as to why Adam is always wearing his mask. It provides a sense of identity and security in said identity. It gives them purpose and focus, perhaps makes them feel stronger, dare I say, superior. By the way, just to set the record straight, I'm still willing to bet quite the substantial sum of money that as soon as Adam is alone and he removes that faceplate, the persona that we've come to know prior to Nifty's backshots is completely absent. Until we get more info about his personhood, Adam will always strike me as a broken man in a constant state of cope.
I'm fucking Adam! I'm the fucking man, and you're just some fucking clown or something! You know how much I'm worth? You know how many people would kill to have angel dust come onto them?
But when compared to Lute, I don't think she's masking whatsoever. I believe this might just be who she is. She seems to have immersed herself into the ideal of the perfect soldier, and has applied that to the cause she will so righteously champion. Adam has no tact whatsoever. Lute, on the other hand, is always in control and composed, always respectful and ready to please those above her station.
What was the Seraphim's one rule? Your Highness, forgive me, but what are the Hellspawn doing here?
Lute, how many demons did you kill this year?
Got a good 275 this year, sir.
275? Whoa!
But when dealing with sinners, Hellspawn, or even fallen angels, you can visibly see her composure begin to crack, with what I can only describe as her shadow coming out to play. To those above, she is respectful and collected, but down below, she's a bit more like this. Jokes aside though, Lute's devotion is truly awe-inspiring, something of special magnificence. You don't go ahead and pull 127 hours on yourself and then continue the fight simply because good soldiers follow orders. If Lute was to exist in, say, ancient Sparta, she would have all the men.
Consider the beautiful lands you so vigorously defend. Consider the fate of your women.
Clearly, you don't know our women.
And yet, I can't help but wonder why her dedication runs so deep. And this did take me quite a bit of thinking, but I believe that maybe, just maybe, Lute looks up to Adam as a kind of father figure. Granted, this is purely speculation, but considering she never leaves his side, follows his lead in all things, and, of course, her emotions after he gets stabbed, it could explain quite a lot. Not only that, but Adam's right-hand woman also seems to share his distaste for the denizens of hell. Now, whether you believe Adam is straight evil for the exterminations, or if you believe this is him doing his version of therapy, at some stage Lute became his acolyte and then adopted this distaste for the sinners, but has taken it to the ultimate degree. Just before the teeny tiny Deus Ex Machina showed up and saved everyone's collective asses, Lute was on the verge of scaling the highest point in hell and delivering the following speech.
And there is nothing more arousing than the sounds made by prisoners of war dropping like flies, screaming in agony as they're mowed down by ear-piercing Schmeissers.
This father figure theory could also explain the reason as to why she left best girl Vaggie for dead. Adam did say Vaggie was one of his best, and if Lute did indeed idolize him, then maybe such a comment stirred up quite a few emotions. Perhaps anger and envy with a dash of resentment. So in doing what she did, with her bare hands, cannot stress that enough, Lute took out a potential rival and ensured that Heaven's army remains strong. This could also explain why she didn't hesitate to go after Vaggie in the season finale. She didn't even care to notice or even acknowledge everyone's favorite fiery princess, and went straight for her former sister-in-arms. I should note as well that there are a couple of theories that suggest that Lute and Vaggie are bitter ex-girlfriends, and sorry, but I don't see it. Not to say that it isn't plausible, but Lute's dislike for Vaggie seems to stem from her perceived weakness and no other reason. Although, she is also dating the daughter of Lucifer and Adam's ex-wife, so I can't imagine that helps. And even in the face of defeat, Lute does not let up.
Do it then. Correct your mistake.
On one hand, if Vaggie kills her, then she can be considered a martyr.
We found the body, sir. They've never managed to kill one of us before. We should just go down there now and destroy them.
No. We can't risk them catching on.
And in the other, if she doesn't, then she can still claim that Vaggie is weak. But, of course, Vaggie does not kill her, and this exchange happens.
Seriously, you're pathetic, you know that? Ready to die rather than accepting mercy? Live knowing that you only do because I let you. A failure.
And the fallen angel of the hotel is 100% correct. Between these two ladies, one has only their cause and bloodlust, whereas the other has a family who she loves, and they in turn love her. Lute then proceeds to rip off her own arm and continues to fight until she realizes the battle has been lost. And given the angry mug she's wearing on the Season 2 poster, and based on what we can get from the trailer, I imagine she is quite determined to win the war. With Adam, now dead, a building thirst for vengeance in her heart, and being the head of an army of angels, I predict that Lute will become a very fun and dangerous foe. And I would love to say more, but that is an essay for another time. If you'd like to know when that video drops and you enjoyed what you heard here, do give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Also, tell me your thoughts about Lute and this video in the comments section below. With that being said, Godspeed, and I hope to see each of you in the next installment.